and welcome to the Independence Week special episode of Kiska Brand Bajega Home Edition. Today we have a megastar who is an acting course in himself and has donned multiple hats of an actor, a producer and also a director. With a milestone of over 500 films, also international movies like Golden Globe nominated Bend It Like Beckham, Golden Lion winning Lust, Caution and Oscar winning Silver Linings Playbook and many more. He's hoisted the flag of India and cinema onwards and upwards with his craft. So on this Independent Weekend special, bringing to you the prestigious recipient of Padma Shri, Padma Bhushan and 2 National Film Awards winner, the Wizard of Versatility, Mr. Anupam Kher. Anupam ji, welcome on Kiska Brand Bajega.
That was a nice introduction. I almost feel like retiring.
So I'm sure there are many more miles to go, right? And we want to see a lot more of you and a lot of great work. So let's not talk about retirement at all, sir.
तारीफ कर दी तो मुझे घबराहट हो गई.
Acha, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So let's start with your journey, sir. From sleeping on a railway platform during your struggling days as an actor to making your debut in 1984, at the age of 29, essaying the role of 65-year-old retired teacher in Saransh, for which you also won the Filmfare Award for Best Actor, to appearing in over 500 films, to also featuring in the Oscar-winning film Silver Linings Playbook, and now starring in an international TV show, New Amsterdam. How has your journey been?
This is only possible when you are not scared of failure.
Sure, sir.
So I have no fear of failure. That was at a very young age. My father, who was a clerk in the forest department, he taught us just generally, I don't think he exactly said it like this, but which meant that failure is an event, never a person.
Sure.
So when you don't have a fear of failure and you come from a lower middle class and you are an eternal optimistic person, then it's a lethal combination. It's a combination where it's a winning combination because you can try out anything. There's a very famous quote by Osho which says, if you try, you risk failure. If you don't, you ensure it.
Sure.
So I knew that I was a trained actor. I was a gold medalist from drama school, but I did not have the required looks in early 80s that you have to have a certain kind of hairstyle. You needed to look like in a certain manner. But I was a qualified actor, read literature and gone through this 4 years of training. And it was a matter of time that I will make it. And sure. I had no choice but to make it. When you keep yourself as a choice, then you make it because you back it up with the honesty and hard work.
Sure.
So these are legendary stories. It's a brand stories of sleeping on the platform, which is a truth.
Right.
I use that as an inspirational stories for so many other people that sleeping on a platform is a stepping stone towards stardom in Indian cinema.
Sure.
Because when I was a struggling actor, I used to read autobiographies of various actors, people, and their life stories inspired me. Chaplin's story was very inspiring. How Chaplin made it and how they were from a poor family, etc., etc. And even since the show is about branding, even a lot of people ask me this question, how could you do a role of a 65-year-old man when you were 28 or 29? 29 sure. I was when the film released, but I was 28 when I was shooting for the film. But this thought never came into my mind that I am not supposed to do that. I don't know why people ask me that question, because this was the best possible debut any actor in India has ever had.
Wow.
Because those days prosthetics were not there, makeup was not so amazingly
advanced as the way it is.
So you had to depend completely on your performance.
Right.
And once Saransh happened, then I did not take myself seriously that now I should do only films like that. So because my idea was to do any kind of work. I had spent enough time on the streets of Mumbai and on the railway platform that I was hungry for work. I said, I must sign any film that comes. In 1 week's time, I signed 57 films because Saransh was a very, very great debut. People did not believe that it's being done by a young man. That itself was a good launching of the brand.
Sure.
And then after having done so many movies, then Bend It Like Beckham happened because I wanted, a saturation point came that I was not very excited about the kind of work that I was doing. And I come from a Hindi medium school where ABCD was taught in the 5th standard, and I think in Hindi. When Bend It Like Beckham was offered to me, I was told that Mr. Bachchan had refused that role, or this is what I was told. I don't know about the authenticity of that story. Maybe the producer said that हम अगर बोलेंगे कि अमिताभ बच्चन साहब ने छोड़ी है तो मुझे important लगेगा. But that was good that because that film became a super duper hit film and it was critically acclaimed. And that started my journey. Again, I was picking up these subjects because I said, maximum what will happen? They will make fun of me or my English, but at least I will be able to have an exposure worldwide. And whenever I do a film abroad or a series abroad, I feel that I'm officially and unofficially representing my country.
Absolutely, sir.
Yeah, so sports people, cricketers, and other people get officially possibility of representing their country. Actors do not, but actors are also brand ambassador of the country. Since this show is on the 15th of August, first of all, I want to also wish everybody a happy Independence Day. And so before every shot, in English language cinema or TV, I tell myself, come on India, bug up India. And then I give my best. Let's say by chance or by luck, I will say that whatever American projects or English projects have done, they have all done brilliantly at box office, at the awards. So 8 nominations for Silver Linings Playbook, Lust Caution, a Chinese film that also got an award. Bend It Like Beckham got 100 million, earned 100 million. Big Sick it became very, very favorite film, did amazing business, a small budget film. And now New Amsterdam is #1 show in America in 2 years' time. So that has happened. I think God helps those people who take risks. So this is a journey. And having said all this journey, I feel that I've just reached the interval point of my career. And now I will do some interesting work.
Pleasure, sir. I think what an inspiration that you are to each one of us, sir. There's an unspoken rule of sorts in Bollywood, Anupam ji, to remain politically neutral. And most of the celebrities strictly adhere to this rule. While you're not in active politics, however, you vehemently support Prime Minister Modi. Any particular reason why you choose to endorse the Prime Minister?
You know, the truth is the most important thing in the world.
Sure.
When you are telling the truth, you don't have to remember it.
Sure.
So if I give my opinion on anything, that is my truth. Mm-hmm. I want to have a complete free spirit as I live with myself. I can't conduct my life thinking what is right and what is wrong, in the sense that what is pretentious, what is fearful. I want to live my life free of any of these emotions. And that can be only done when you stick to the truth.
Sure.
That can be only done when you're saying what you feel. Because if you ask me the same thing again and again, my answer for that question will be for 100 years the same, because that will be the truth. So what I'm trying to say, that when I take a position, I'm not taking a political position. I'm taking a position which is my truth. And acting is my part of my life. It is not my life.
Sure.
That like you are anchoring this show, but I'm sure you're a father or a son or a brother or a teacher or other things also.
Right.
You need to speak about your truth. What you say on television, if your son or your child or your brother is asking you a question, your answer should not be different.
Sure.
So similarly, when I speak about Prime Minister Modi, that's what I believe in. That's what I feel, that his love for his country cannot be replaced with anything. This present government may have their plus points, negative points, but his determination to make this country strong, self-reliant, and so I'm speaking the truth. Now, it may not resonate with certain people, but it resonates with me.
Right.
So how can I lie? And I'm not careful. Maybe other actors are very careful. Maybe they are not sure of themselves. Maybe they are not sure of. Maybe they think that they have become by the grace of God and not by their talent. मेरे को क्या फर्क पड़ता है? कल को अगर मुझे सब लोग कहते हैं जो ये नहीं ठीक है, मैं सड़क पे जाके डमरू बजाना शुरू कर दूंगा. I will earn money. So because I know my job, but I cannot take position of life which is convenient for me. You have to stick out your neck and speak the truth.
So, but have you, in this process of speaking this truth, as you said, and standing up for what you feel is right, have you lost out on certain opportunities?
Sure.
Or
Yes, of
has
course.
Bollywood, or is Bollywood mature enough to differentiate between
No,
professional and
it's
personal?
not. We are not, because but that is to blame somebody for that is not the way a self-made person should speak. But
Sure.
I'm sure the people who do not resonate with my thought process, they may not like it. They may
Right.
say that यार एक्टर तो बड़ा अच्छा है मगर बीजेपी के साथ है, एक्टर तो बड़ा अच्छा है लेकिन हिंदुत्व के साथ है. तो it's all rubbish. But people sometimes want to deal with their own shortcomings by finding faults in others.
Right.
Because
right.
somebody's courage shows them a mirror. And what they see in the mirror, they don't like it. So the best thing is to criticize the person.
Sure. Anupamji, you won almost every award under the sun, be it national or international. I remember reading somewhere that you've been nominated 47 times, out of which you've won 30 awards. Recently, Anupamji, the awards have been subject to much criticism, with the recent article by Shekhar Gupta revealing how the awards are fixed to massage the ego of powerful. What are your views on the award ceremonies going forward?
Well, that your and my discussion will not decide whether awards should exist or not. I love awards, frankly speaking.
Sure.
Because I was taught at a very young age, if you run faster and you can come first or second, and you will be given a trophy. Unfortunately, I was once at a very young age, but my PT teacher saw me running and he said, even if you run alone, you will come second. So it took away my career as a runner. But yes, awards are very important, and I think there was a certain innocence about awards in early 80s. There was something, I'm sure maybe they were fixed at that time also. But you will be surprised that my last award was in 1995, a popular film award.
And after that, you've never got
5 years, I have not got a single award. I got 8 awards, 8 Filmfare awards, if you want to know. I've got Screen Awards, I've got IFA awards, but I never got an award for Khosla Ka Ghosla, Special Chappes, Wednesday, or anything like that. But it's okay. It is a bitter truth. And they are television awards. They are television events. They are not, only the people who are sitting are winners.
Right.
We don't have a comradeship like the whole world will come together and celebrate your celebrate your excellence.
Right.
We don't have like that. Abroad they have, whether it's in Oscars or SAG Awards or Golden Globe, you don't see all the nominees together and then they applaud for the winner. I'm sure the people who do not win feel bad about it, but over here there is no such concept. The winner will be told much in advance that tumko award mil raha hai. So when you see the person out of 5 nominees, that one person is there, you know that he's going to get the award, and then he or she will do acting of oh really? So you know that. But I'm not bitter about it, but that's a truth. So unfortunately, there's a churning. Maybe we needed to discuss this, how things should happen. There's churning, and then with churning comes out poison and Amrit both.
Perfect. Now let's come to what you speak with so much of pride, which is the acting school that you launched, right? And this is so beautiful as an initiative because you're a legendary actor and you're an institution in yourself. So tell us what went through in your mind. What was the process of what went through for launching this acting school, and what are the plans forward, sir, for Actor Prepare?
So I had tried to do a venture into business because every actor after becoming successful wants to have a studio under his name, especially when Mr. Bachchan opened his ABCL. And I also wanted, so I got technicians from abroad, America and Britain and things like that. And we launched a very huge party to launch AKSL, means Anupam Kher Studio Limited. And I borrowed money and I discovered that I was almost going bankrupt because my financial acumen is not great.
Right.
So then I did a play based on my autobiography called Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta. My play is based on my failures. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All the failures that now it is on my website called theanupamkher.com.
Right.
It's available there. Then I said, I must do something which I know. Mm-hmm. And I know teaching because before I got into movies as an actor, I was a teacher.
Right.
I was a teacher in Lucknow. Then I came here to be a teacher. And I also used to meet a lot of newcomers who were good looking, but were petrified in front of the camera.
Sure.
They will twitch. They will be nervous. They will be sweating. And I used to feel that they should be enjoying what they are doing. Millions of people come to this city to make it, and they are so petrified. That's how the idea of acting school started. We started an acting school in my Veera Desai Road with 8 students on the 5th of February, I think 2005. And now it has, by the grace of God, because I know acting is just focused on teaching. So that was the basic idea. And I had great time in selecting teachers. We have fantastic teachers. I can easily say this, and this is without, I am not modest about it. This is one of the finest schools in the world in terms of discipline. Unfortunately, lost my teacher, my acting teacher, Al-Qazi Saab, last week. So there are three floors, and all 3 floors, and I am announcing this on your show, though we have decided 2 years back. Now every floor will be named after my teacher of teaching, my acting teaching to me. One is Balwant Gargi studio, one is Amal Alana studio, and the 6th floor is going to be Mr. Al-Qazi studio.
Wow.
I love to see students who meet me in the shooting and they not yet made it big maybe, and they say, sir, मैं आपका batch 78 का लड़का हूँ, या मैं batch 56 की student हूँ. When I love to see Deepika Padukone doing so well. I love to see so Abhishek, whom I did a workshop with, Hrithik Roshan, with whom I did a workshop with, or
Varun Dhawan.
Varun Dhawan. And these are established names, but you see any ad on television today, they are students of the drama school or of my acting school. So it's a great achievement, a sense of pride that I feel, and that's how we planning.
Perfect. Anupamji, usually we have studio audiences, management students, who we like to call them as brandwalas. But since due to the beast of the current nature, we've invited a few management students from various parts of India via a video call who are buzzing with some interesting questions for you to answer. So shall we begin?
Hello, sir. My name is Kavit. I'm a huge fan and I absolutely love how versatile as an actor you are. So my question to you is, in spite of working on several projects for the big screen, you have made a comeback to the stage. So what keeps your passion for theatre alive? And also, you've recently released your autobiographical play, Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai, on your website. So could you also shed some light on that, please?
So first of all, I must compliment on your hair. You're looking nice. And I wish I could grow my hair also like that. But if you have noticed, I have a center parting today.
Okay. Yeah, I noticed.
You noticed? Thank you. No, I think I am whatever I am. The strength of an actor is because I am from theatre, and theatre sort of uses its own technique to polish the rust that an actor can get. Because the live audience, there is no possibility of retake. A live audience, you have to be there, you have to perform. So the actor in me is alive because I do theatre on the side. Today only I might come up with another interesting play with my friend Satish, which we will talk about later at some stage. Kuch Bhi Ho Sakta Hai is a one-man show of 127 pages, but it's a great philosophy of optimism, of never giving up. You should see it. Thank you for asking me this question. I was thinking, how do I plug my play on my website? So my friend Aditya, please put www.anupamkher.com. Thank you, Kavit.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Kavit. Can we have the next one, please?
Hello, sir. My name is Namrita. So firstly, it is an honor to talk to such a great talent. You have been a director to so many actors' lives with your acting school, and I've also directed a film. So my question to you is that you had ventured into directing with a film named Om Jai Jagdish. But after that, you have never really explored this role. Is there any specific reason behind this? So my next question to you is that, can we see you wear a director's hat in the near future?
So I'm very proud of the film that I made, but it bombed at the box office, unfortunately. That year, no film did well except for a Bipasha Basu film, which was Raz. Somehow or the other, that was a transitional time. And then nobody basically wanted a film directed by me. But I have been wanting to think of wanting a subject, thinking of subject. But Direction takes 2 to 3 years of your life to get the script, and then to do the pre-production, then shoot the film, then the post-production, etc. So I don't have that kind of a time, but I might do a short film, or I might at some stage find a film which sort of needs to be made. But ऐसा कोई reason नहीं था. Simple सी बात थी, वो film flop हो गई, और फिर लोगों ने, फिर मैं थोड़े 2-3 साल मेरा भी थोड़ा मन उदास हुआ कि फिल्म चली नहीं. लोगों ने कहा कि अरे यार ये, as an actor I could deal with films not doing well because I'm part of the film. But as a director, because the film did not do well, there was a certain responsibility I had to take on myself. And then I got involved with other acting projects. But maybe one day, Namrata, I will want to do the film.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks. Nice talking to you.
So just a suggestion from my end, and now as you represent brand Bollywood as well to the rest of the world, we've not seen Indian films getting or nominated for Oscars since a long, long time. And as you're also connected with the West at this point of time, please do think of making an Indian film that will truly do well and qualify to be in the Oscars list, especially with last year what happened to Parasite. We are itching for Indian cinema to be.
We have to make an original Indian film about modern India.
Right. Right.
We cannot make films which are borrowed from Quentin Tarantino style of shooting. We cannot. We have to make a film, and it will happen. We've already got people who are nominated, smaller films, etc. A.R. Rahman and other people also. So it will happen, and it should happen. Can you imagine this Parasite? What an amazing draft it had.
Yeah.
For that, we have to make a film which comes from the soul of India, not necessarily about the poverty of India, not necessarily about the backwardness of India, but the India of today.
Sure, absolutely. Anupamji, the tragic demise of Sushant has brought out Bollywood's ugly underbelly into focus, and a lot of wrongdoings are coming up every day. The brand equity of Bollywood has taken a devastating blow with boycott calls trending on Twitter ever since Sushant's demise. As an industry veteran, in your view, what should be Bollywood doing to refurbish its brand image?
An incident. It's very unfortunate. I worked with Sushant. He was a wonderful, outgoing boy, brilliant. The way he did all the roles, unbelievable, enthusiastic. And I played father of Mahendra Singh Dhoni's father. And so there was a certain kind of a workshop that we did, or spent some time together to have this feel about it. So it was. I was shocked about when it happened. So having said that, I don't think we should talk about what is happening after that, because that's a separate issue, whether it's on channels or whether it is police or whether this thing. I think what I certainly feel that his parents, his father and his family and his millions of fans should have a logical end to their
closure.
It should have a closure. So, and this is a very generous city. But yes, I don't blame the parents for thinking like that. But that is not only in terms of cinema. People have made it in business. People have made it in every field. People who come from Dhirubhai Ambani came from Ahmedabad with a small thing. And what about people who were there also? What about Sachin Tendulkar? What about Mahendra Singh Dhoni? So that it doesn't mean. But just because eyeballs come, because when it is Bollywood involved, so people like to have a kind of more interest in it. But people should not stop their dreams. We do not know what the conclusion is. We do not know what the thing is. But I feel it's important as one chapter to bring a closure to what happened. And because there is a lot of situations now, we do not know what is happening. But how can you stop a small town boy come to this city and making it? There are obstacles in life in every department. Even if you go from a village to a city, when I came from Shimla to Chandigarh, I discovered I can't speak English, and that's a big drawback. When I came to Mumbai, I discovered that I had cut my tongue and I could not speak K. I used to say T. My name is Anupam Kher. So ऐसा तो है नहीं कि life में आपको challenges नहीं मिलते हैं. But dreams have no syllabus. You have to make it. And you have to fight with your parents and sort of say, no, I will make my own destiny.
Sure.
I'm sure parents are protective about it, then they should be protected. But how can you stop from if you have talent, my grandfather used to say that if you're honest and talented and you work hard, no power on the earth can stop you from doing.
Right.
It's unfortunate that he was among us, and today very few people are talking about from Bollywood are talking about that. Arey yaar, we should find out what has happened. Suddenly silence. मतलब हम अवार्ड्स में मिलते हैं, गले लग के मिलते हैं, एक दूसरे को जफ्फी मारते हैं और ऐसे करते हैं और ऐसे करते हैं, और एक भी बड़ा नाम जो है ये नहीं कह रहा भाई सुशांत सिंह राजपूत हमारे बीच का एक आदमी था, एक ह्यूमन रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि वी मस्ट फाइंड आउट व्हाट हैज हैपेंड टू हिम.
So you said something so beautiful. So in fact, the fans are taking it up on his behalf, right? And there is also
responsibility. He was somebody's son. He was somebody. I'm not saying that आप झंडा लेके खड़े हो जाओ और इसको criticize करो, उसको criticize करो, ये करो, वो करो. It is like same thing what you told me earlier, that people are very scared to venture out of their comfort zone. How can you not say that I feel bad for this young man's death, and I hope that we find out what happened to him.
Well said. Well said. Let's talk about your international stint. Anupam ji, you're one of the few actors to have truly left a mark in Hollywood, where you've acted in a plethora of international films with starkly different roles. I want to know what nudged you to take brand Anupam Kher onto international shows. Was it fatigue with Bollywood, or is it to expand your brand reach? Also, I want to know, are boundaries blurring for actors from India doing well in the West?
So first of all, you have to be prepared as an actor. You have to be well equipped as an actor to be taken in the international projects.
Right.
There is no way that you can get work just because you look the part.
Sure.
You should be able to deliver also.
Right.
But the credit for this goes to a lot of people from, if I only have to talk about actors, then there are people like Kabir Bedi, who did Sandokan, people like Saeed Jafri Saab, people like Om Puri. So there are a lot of people who have done great work, and we are not stereotype Indian actors over there.
Absolutely, yes.
But you can't have a stereotype Indian actor that, or an Indian actor, so he will talk like that only and he will move his head. We don't do that. You and me have not spoken like that.
Absolutely.
So and Priyanka Chopra, the biggest brand from Hindi cinema, from Indian cinema, is done phenomenal work in taking this to. And then there are so many now. You see Netflix shows or you say Amazon shows. If you're good, you are noticed. You know, if you're good, you're noticed all over the place. It took 11 years for Sikandar to be noticed in a series on Hotstar.
Right.
No? So what
a great performance. You as a father would be very proud.
So that's what I'm saying. So, talented इंसान को आज छुपा के नहीं रख सकते. Now there are own issues. I wanted to be in one scene with Woody Allen, and I said I will do that. That film called Tall Dark and Stranger. You will meet a tall dark stranger, or a film like Lust Caution with Ang Lee. Where do you get to be part of these people's life? But yes, if you're talented, the casting, even in India, thank God for the casting companies now choosing newcomers, faces. In fact, people like us have to really work hard at our acting to be accepted by people that अरे यार ये तो अनुपम खेर को ले लिया तो पुरानी लगेगी film या पुरानी लगे. So we have to come up with new things. That I take it like that as a challenge. Otherwise, it's fantastic to be able to do that.
Very well said. Your combined presence on social media is almost 25 million, where you reveal your personal side with the videos of your mother getting a lot of love for the audience. Being a senior actor, you are one of the rare breeds who have kept up with the generational change and aced the social media game as well. What is your formula when it comes to acing the game on social media?
I think social media is a great platform to be a learning process.
Right.
To sort of interact with youngster. If you see my analysis of my social media, my followers are from 18 to 32 maximum. 80% followers are that, and I get to learn so much from them. And again, I use the same philosophy: speak the truth. If I don't like something, I will say I don't like something.
Right.
That is why. Otherwise, I'm not a young star, the heartthrob or something like that. And I have not bought a single follower in any of my social medias.
Well said.
I'm told that there are people who buy. I have not done that because it's
completely organic.
If I know that I have bought followers, how can I be happy about it?
Right.
So, and what was so amazing that I came here on 20th of March this year, and I had 15 million followers on Twitter, and in 2.5 months' time, they have increased to 2.5 million followers. So obviously, I'm making some sense of what I'm saying on social media. But that's only possible. My book, The Best Thing About You Is You, talks about it, that your plus point and your USP is being original.
Right.
When you're original, then people will follow you. Ingrid Bergman said something very interesting. She said the camera finds the truth and camera finds the lie. It can be also said about social media.
Wow. Now, coming to social media, you've actively expressed your views and thoughts on social media platforms, and your fans are quite fond of that. Interestingly, while researching, we came across some really funny and compelling fan comments on your page, and we shall get to you to react to them in our segment, Internet Asks Anupam Kher.
This has, oh my God, this meme has been used so many ways. My talking to Archana Puran Singh. Recently I got it. Recently, I think 4 days back, somebody sent me telling liberals about Ram Janam Bhumi Pujan. Fantastic.
Okay, the next one. Were you taking fashion advice from Ranveer Singh?
I had always this dream that one day I will be asked to do a fashion parade on it. And my idea has always been wanting to be different.
Okay.
Sometimes I succeed and sometimes I flop miserably.
Right.
That is why when I did a 28-year-old, I did a 65-year, because I wanted to be different. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. And later on, after I did this, somebody told me that Ranveer Singh does the same thing.
Right.
But it's fine. It's again, Kritika Togani gets famous because if I had not worn this, then she would have not been able to ask this question, and we would have not used her name in this show. But it's a disaster what I have done it over here.
Yeah, or Ranveer Singh has started copying Anupam Kher.
No. And I think the designers asked me, "Are you sure you want to?" I said, "No, I know what I'm talking about. I must have looked like an idiot walking on the ramp on that day." Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Well said. Okay, the next one. Right. Rahul wanted to know, what was your reaction? Actually, put this on a video as well. Why do you need to react to controversies in that sense? Because there are not too many controversies associated with Anupam Kher.
No, it was not anybody who was talking about me.
Right.
It was a person who I think is my friend still, who has a great respectable repertoire of work, and he didn't have to sort of go out of his way to talk about me and mere khoon mein hai. It's very important to give back to people who sort of go out of their way to sort of make you feel small or insult you, or how can you be ignoring that? मेरे मोहल्ले में कोई आते हैं पड़ोसी जो आपके दोस्त हैं, वो आके आपके ब्रदर को, फादर को धक्का दे जाए और आप कमजोर इंसान है तभी चुप रहेंगे. बस कभी it's very important to react. I have been very respectful towards him in my answer, but it was important to answer him because he didn't need to do that.
Absolutely. Fair.
Because it was not important for him. He went out of his way to call me a joker. He went out of his way to say mere khoon mein hai, etc., and it was important to react to him.
Agreed. Okay, the next one. Right. This is, I'm sure you read this. So Ketan wants to know, how is Anupam Kher so savage? This is on your response to Shashi Tharoorji's tweet.
Yeah, because I think smartness is very interesting, but smartness should not sort of, when you are trying to be smart, the other person can also afford to be smart. It's important. I think it's a free country. You don't have the freedom of expression, and it was important to give it back to Mr. Shashi Tharoor, because he thought he was being very smart and pretentious. So it was very easy for me to sort of find another WhatsApp message and give it back to him.
A great one. Okay. What was it playing a Congress leader while you support BJP is what Simran Patil wants to know.
When I play an actor or a character, I don't do it because there is a philosophy involved in it. First of all, let me just tell you that anybody who votes has a political philosophy.
Right.
Some people are known, when you go behind that ballot box, you are putting your mohar or your stamp on one of the parties or one of the candidates. So you already belong to a party. Whether you are pretending to be this thing and that I do not know, but you are voting, that means you know. So this whole thing about BJP and Congress, etc. But this is one of the 5 best roles that I have done in my career of 515 films.
Wow.
I've never worked so hard on a film. I worked hard for 8 months on this thing. And it has nothing to do with what my philosophy of political philosophy is or who I support India. Now, if BJP and Prime Minister Modi supports India, my vote will go for him. I feel there are some wonderful people in Congress also, but because of a certain way that they function, they don't let people who are brilliant, including my friend Shashi Tharoor. I think he's brilliant, but he has lowered his standard rather than the main people over there have raised their standards.
Perfect. Thank you. Anupam ji, now for the final question. You've conquered Bollywood, opened your acting school. You've done a bunch of international films featured in American, British, and Canadian series. You've actually done and mastered it all. So what's next going forward for brand Anupam Kher?
So I don't look at life as a planning, especially now in times of pandemic and times of this thing. The planning has gone to dogs. You need to live the moment. So I live every moment, and for a long time. I own up my successes. I own up my failures. I own up my brilliant work. I own up my bullshit work. So, but life is a journey, not a destination. Wow. I can answer this question after 25 years that when I say, okay, now it's time to hang my boots. But even then I will be wearing my boots to answer this question.
Right.
So I think it's important to just keep on doing work. How many people have come before me and how many people will come after me? People don't remember. I need to make a difference in some people's lives. And I'm very happy, as I said to you in the earlier time, that to be able to wake up in the morning, to me, this question answer is not a formality. Right. I genuinely am answering your question because Absolutely. I'm enjoying it.
Absolutely, sir.
So as long as that is on, when we started this interview, you were a little aware of that you were doing it. Now we are friends.
Right, sir.
So that is the achievement.
Right, sir.
And that's what life is all about. To live every moment, and that's what is important.
Brilliantly. So well spoken, sir. And I hope that 25 years later, I come back and still ask you about what is the next future for brand Anupam Kher.
And I will still say that some more years later.
Absolutely, sir. Anupam ji, it was a classic conversation today with one of my personal favorites, who's also the veteran of our film industry. Thank you, Anupam ji, for gracing our show, Kiska Brand Bajega. Your journey from spending nights resting on a platform early on in your career to becoming such a global phenomena. Your journey is a perfect example for millions of people who want to pursue their dreams. On behalf of all of us at Kiska Brand Bajega, we wish you the best and hope and pray that you continue to shower us with your evergreen entertainment for several more decades. Jai Hind, sir.
Jai Hind and Jai Ho.
This is Aditya Bhatt signing off from now. Until then, happy branding. Jai Hind.
About Sarabhai sequel not doing fantastically well is simple reason. हमने जब साराभाई बनाया था तो वो साराभाई इतना legendary नहीं था, हमने तो इसी तरह अच्छे से बनाया. People made it like a huge thing, and when you do a sequel after 14 years, the expectation.
We need to be very careful to create a brand for ourselves. Okay, whether it's on television. Now, अगर हमने television कर लिया तो बहुत मुश्किल से you can infiltrate into movies.
I've also realized that a lot of people relate to me not because of Tejasvi. People relate to me because of the character that I'm playing.
Why TV is never going anywhere because of its standing with non-fiction shows.